love that. Yeah. We're coming up on Valentine's Day, which is Tuesday. And for some people, when I bring up Valentine's Day, they're like, because so many people attach Valentine's Day with, romantic love and having a love interest in your life. Like, I love you, baby. And it's like, and what do you do when there's no baby to love, right? It's not Valentine's Day, and what we're looking at is the whole subject of love. We can all love each other. We can love, and I've been talking about this being the beloved community and really loving each other in unconditional ways and looking on what we can count on each other for and how to really be there for one another. And today, I'm talking about love your life. I mean, how about this? That on Valentine's Day, not only show the love to those people that you love, but celebrate your own life. Celebrate the love that you have for your life. And so I want to ask you, do you love your life? Some of you are thinking about it. That's all right. That's okay. This is a place for thinkers. You don't have to leave your brain at the door here. So, do you love your life? Now, I've thought about this. There were times in my life where I didn't necessarily love my life. At least I didn't feel like I did because I felt like I was a mistake or something. And not to dive into all of it, but some of you have heard my stories about when I was a kid in school, and I obviously didn't fit in very well, and many days I was sat outside the doorway of the school for detention or set to the principal's office, to the extent that the assistant of the principal would say, "Timmy, we have your desk ready." I had my own desk in the principal's office. And, so there were times where I'm like, do I love my life? Do I really? And there were times in my life there's pretty rough. Can you relate to that? Have there been times in your life where you wondered, do I love my life? Is this really, what I had expected in my life? Is this what I had expected to be happening at this point in my life? Life can give us some surprises. How many would agree that life can surprise you? Okay. A lot of you agree with that. Life can surprise us because part of life is change. Wow, change, right? So, first of all, in loving our lives, I encourage us to love our journey, to honor our journey, to honor the journey that we've been on. We've all been on a journey. I mean, if you just think about some of the ups and downs you've gone through in your life, again, I'm thinking back on my own life because it's easiest to draw from. But I can remember in high school telling one of my teachers of my plans to go to college, and here was their response. How are you going to go to college? It's kind of like, oh, thanks for the confidence. Think of the things that you've overcome and how you've gotten to where you now are. Think about the things that you had to surmount, the journeys that you've had to go through for you to be where you're at now. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. I'll share another autobiographical thing with you. I don't know that I've ever shared with you before. Now, I don't want you to come up to me after the service and feel my head. But there's a dent, a hole in my head. Now, it's grown over, which is good. Yay. When I was a baby, you know, I had this big bump right here. I was like a unicorn. It wasn't quite long like a unicorn, but I had this big bump right here as a baby. And our family doctor told my parents, hey, he'll be all right. He'll grow out of it. They didn't x-ray it. They didn't, you know. And one of my older brothers, Reg, you know, they used to use these, what do you call them? Some sort of pot where you put kerosene in them. This was back before they used orange cones and stuff like that. They would put these black things that you would light and they'd be on fire, and that would signal when they're working on some area of the street. What are they called? Tar pot? Okay, some of you remember those? Some of you are going, what? Anyway, so my brother, like me, loved fire. And he was playing with one of these things and caught a stick on fire. And then the stick went down his cowboy boot. Yeah, we wore cowboy boots. It was a great look. You know, we wore shorts and cowboy boots. I mean, we were really styling. Real swag. And so, you know, he had this fire burning in his boot, and, you know, he had that scar the rest of his life. So my mom wanted to rush him to go see the doctor. And, hey, I'm a baby, so she needs to take me along. And so she brings my brother to the doctor, and I'm, you know, there. And the doctor, you know, looks at my brother, but he's like, what's wrong with your baby? Because he sees this real big bump, and he's like, what's going on here? And my brother's like, you know, he's already the middle brother, and I'm already taking away the attention from him in the family system. And now he's burned his foot, and it's not about him, it's about his baby brother. What's wrong with your baby? So that doctor is real concerned about me, and they get x-rays done of my head and all that, and discover, hey, this bump isn't just going this way, it's going down into the brain. He said, this needs to be operated on, like, right away. This can kill your baby. And wow, that got my mom's attention. So since then, you know, that brother just passed in July, but, you know, I thanked him for setting his foot on fire so that, right? So that I could get the attention that I needed. And you know, we all have these journeys with these things that we've overcome. What have you overcome in your life? I know there's things you've overcome. Your journey is so sacred. Think about the relationships you've gone through, or maybe you'd rather not. Think about maybe the family you grew up in, and changes in geographical locations and movings and job changes, right? Think about, wow, all the different aspects of your journey. Can you embrace all of that and love that? Can you honor yourself for all the things that you've come through? Can you see, in fact, that your life is the life of God? And you may wonder, what do you mean by that? By God, I'm talking about this creative presence, this presence that connects all of us, that is everywhere fully present. Again, I remember in Wichita, Kansas, when the person came to me that had a pink mohawk and all kinds of earrings and tattoos and was a bartender at an LGBTQ bar and came to me and said, I'm an atheist. Is it okay if I'm here? And I'm like, absolutely. Yeah, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're more because you're here. And he said, I want to work on my spiritual life, but I'm an atheist. So how do I do this? I said, well, tell me what you do believe. He said, I believe there's something greater that connects all of us. There's something that is living as each one of us, and somehow all of us are intricately connected and are all one and part of each other. And I'm like, yeah, there you go. You know? Can you honor the fact that interacts as all of us, that interconnects all of us, that is living as all of us? Can you celebrate how that is uniquely living as you? I mean, that's no small stuff. So that you can see yourself as the divine. So when you look in the mirror, you're seeing this divine essence, this interconnection, this, I think of Carl Sagan, who said that we are stardust looking back upon itself. Can you see that essence when you see yourself and celebrate your journey? I am inviting us on, in whatever way suits you, on Valentine's Day and every day, to celebrate your life, to love your life, to celebrate your journey. And that means not only celebrating all that you've come through, but celebrating your current challenges. There's aspects of ourselves. We call it sometimes our shadow side. There's aspects of ourselves that we sometimes have hid from others. Like, I don't want people to really see me angry, or, I don't want people to see me vulnerable or having self-pity, or, I don't, blah, 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 whatever. And so there's aspects of ourselves that we've often hidden from ourselves and tried to hide from others, even though it's as plain as day. And why not rather love those things? Now, pardon the autobiographical references. It's just easier for me, because I have permission to talk about myself. I mean, if you want me to talk about you, fill me in on all the dark and dirty details, okay? Tell me your shadow stuff that you're hiding, and I'd be happy to talk about it, if you want. But in my own life, being able to embrace those things that I thought were wrong with me. Every report card. Timmy is easily distracted. He's up dancing, he's up talking to other kids rather than staying focused on his work. And teachers would say, Timmy, why can't you be more like Susan? I think, because I'm not Susan. Right? So, what have I ended up doing? I've ended up going into a type of work where I get to interact with lots of people, where I can use my sensitivity and alertness to pick up on things and nuances that are happening in large groups of people. I get up and dance. I get to get up and speak. I get to do the stuff that I was punished for. I embrace it. I use it. Those things that you think are disabilities in your life, those things that you think are pulling you down, that make you different. Maybe you're on an autistic spectrum, Maybe you have Asperger's. Maybe you are alcoholic. Maybe you are, I don't know what. Could it be that there is a gift in all of that? Could it be that there is a divine gift in all those things that we have called bad about ourselves, and in fact, they are our strengths? And we can embrace them. We can love them. Can you really love your life and give thanks for your life? So we love our journey. We love those challenges, those things that we've sometimes been ashamed of, but we embrace them and love them and find ways to channel them in healthy ways, because who you are is amazing. Who you are has been millennia in the making. Who you are is a unique and beautiful expression that is needed in this world right now. We need you to be who you are and to be that in the highest and fullest sense. That's what the world is needing. I think of this quote that says, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what it is that makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who've come fully alive. This is Black History Month. That comes from, do you know X? Howard Spencer? What is his name? I'm trying to come up with it. Anyway, very famous speaker, philosopher, Black. And go do what makes you fully come alive, and celebrate your victories. Celebrate who you really are. You have many victories to your life. There is strength to you. You wouldn't be here if there wasn't. There is strength to you because you have been able to come through so many challenges. You have been come through so many times where maybe you were misunderstood. You have come through times that, wow, there is something to you that can never be destroyed, diminished, divided, diluted. There is something that is the eternal, ever-present Spirit living as you. So love that. Love your life. Embrace that. And when you can do that, you can really love other people where they're at. You can accept them where they're at. You can love them with all their warts and foibles and whatever else, because who we are is this presence that we are talking about. Who we are is this presence living out, incarnated as us. We are this individualized expression of the divine, of God, of this essence that interconnects and interweaves us all. Oh, love your life. Love it on Valentine's Day and every day, and then love others. Thank you. So as we move into our time of meditation, I invite you to take a deep breath. You may want to close the outer eyes. You may want to just relax your gaze. But I encourage you to just breathe into that inner space that you are and to give thanks for who you are, to embrace and love the life that you are, to love the life that you are, the love that each person is, as we go into the silence. We love our lives. We love all of those around us. And we commit ourselves to lives of love. As we again take a deep breath, we're in this centeredness, this presence, this heart coherence.